Hey y'all, you ready to review Love Island UK? Season 13, Episode 1. Let's get into it. So, right off the bat, first impressions, I really like all the girls. Like, I'm a big fan of all of these ladies. Like, they're all bringing a little bit of like a different vibe, but still friendly and approachable. And even though some are like seeming a little more reserved, like Angelista, I respect what she's doing. I respect her, like, kind of pulling that Julia Roberts move where, like, everybody else is being loud and she's gonna, kind of take a step back and draw people in. I really like that about her. And she's also, I think, just trying to let people show who they really are. That's always smart. But yeah, I love all the girls. Like Ellie, she's got a great accent. She's super fun. Angelista, she's got that maturity. She knows what she wants. So does Jasmine. Like they're not playing. So that's what I'm a little like concerned about is like the mismatch of maturity when we look at the guys. So I feel like they are acting more like little kids in a candy shop. Like they've never, and almost like it's kind of free access. It's so weird. It's like they're like, ooh, I don't have to try hard. They're just already all here, and they're, I'm jumping the gun, but a couple of them are coming off that way. So we will see how it plays out. But initially, you have them all entering the villa, and they're in pairs, So first, it's Mika and Aiden, and I can tell just like Mika's got this bubbly energy. Huge fan. And then we also have Aiden, he's a big smiler because he's a property broker. And I think he's used to, meeting new people. He's not necessarily nervous by that. Whereas I feel like Mika is a little bit more nervous, which is totally fine. I would be the same way probably, where I'm just like, okay, let's work out the nerves. Let's just work this out. Aiden, in his intro, he did say something that kind of confirmed my suspicions, where he was just like, where are all the ladies at? And it's kind of just like, as I'm seeing the episode play out, like towards the ending of it, I'll get there, but I'm just a little weary of this one. Okay, so they all do really good meeting each other and bringing out the drinks and like socializing and mingling. Then, of course, Maya shows up after all of that and immediately gets them on their toes. And they're like, they're so happy to see her, but then they're also like, are you gonna hurt us? You can tell the nerves. They're just like, oh no, what's gonna happen? The twist comes at the end, but they know she's got something up her sleeve. So she decides to do some icebreakers and ask some questions and has them sip, like if the answer is yes or, whatever. So we'll get into those questions too. But I feel like the first interesting one was when Maya asked the guys, like, okay, so are any of these girls like your type on paper? Take a sip. And three, we're talking three guys decided not to sip. What kind of power move is this? Is this nerves or is this like, I don't know. But it was a little disappointing, more than disappointing, although not shocking. So it was a little shocking for Opie. I was expecting a little more from Opie, but at the same time, he did say his specific type was like a northern blonde, possibly Scottish. I'm not sure which one he said. But then you have Lorenzo in the middle of those two, and then you have Aiden, and Aiden's the closest to the girls. He's sitting next to Ellie. Those three don't drink. They don't take a sip. And so my girl Jasmine, on her next question, was like, are there any red flags you're already seeing? She takes a sip, and I'm like, queen, you're such a queen. Like, call that ish out. What the heck is going on? That's not how you play this game. And there is this kind of like deceptive type of energy, in my opinion, coming from them. Like they're not really being real. So she sees that. She calls it as a red flag. However, she's still, Maya, after all the icebreakers, decides to let them know that they're going to be choosing their couples, that they're going to be deciding it and being diplomatic amongst each other, They're gonna figure it out. And I really freaking love this. Like, I don't know if this has happened before because I've only watched, I think, since season 11 UK, and I might have gone back and watched a few of the other ones too. It all blends together though, let me tell you. But Molly and Zach on season 11, oof, that was my jam. I know they're not together anymore, spoiler alert, but I really loved their like love drama. I thought that was really cool. So they get to decide. At one point, the girls are like, okay, which one do you want? And I thought that was kind of funny. That was kind of cute. But they start pairing up. And I really felt for Sam, the electrician. He, like, you know, I could tell. So he's hard of hearing. He has some hearing aids. You can't really notice them. It's almost like, I don't know, if I didn't know any better, I would also think like, oh, maybe that's something like production gave him. I don't know. He looks like a CIA agent, you know. Woo. But there, you can tell there's a little bit of reservation. People aren't sure about, and not that they should be, like, it's just they're still young and they're still getting used to diversity. And I appreciate the producers including diversity. That's really cool. But it seems like he's having a bit of an upward battle just in the beginning, because he wants to be, if I'm not mistaken, I think he wants to be with Ellie. That's right. So Ellie is the real estate property. She's like the property videographer, social media, you know, manager, and he wants to be with her. He makes a beeline. He's like, yeah, no, she's a bit of me kind of thing, and she doesn't go for it. She should have. She really freaking should have, because he had that sweet confidence. I loved it. I was like, like, and I'm not, here's the thing, guys, on this channel, on this review channel, I'm not going to go after people's looks. I don't think that's fair. I think God made us all the way he made us, and we're not going to go there. We're not going to be like, they look like this, they look like that. But when it comes to behaviors, when it comes to their actions and their logic and their reasoning, that's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the behaviors, because, like, not that he's really living up to that. I think he just said it because he thought that was, like, you know, a great PR answer, diplomatic answer. But Aiden, in his little intro, he had said something, or I think it was on the Love Island, the British summary, where he was saying that he's about personality. It does not seem that way as it's playing out. I don't think he's about personality. I think he is about pushing his weight around, like pushing his looks around like his weight, because I don't know, he's rushing the process. I feel like he's rushing it, and Ellie don't need to put up with that. So anyway, Ellie and Aiden, they pair up because Aiden is just like, hey, we're sitting together, hey, we're like, you know, we had a bit of banter, so let's do it. And she's kind of like, okay, and she turns down Sam. I think they are the first pairing. I'm not quite sure. I think they are. I should have wrote that down. But then you have, you know, the girls talking about, okay, I like these two boys, you know, and going on and on. I really, from the picture, look like Ellie and Aiden were like a good match. And they kind of are, like, in the professional realm, you know, they line up like that. But man, he's missing the mark for me there. I think he's just a little too pushy. So let's see, hold on. Okay, I had to pause and like review because I know I'm skipping some things, because the first one actually to couple up was Samraj and Mika, and I was so excited, like, to see their personalities and to see him. He's not intimidated by like a high maintenance girl. He was like, no, this could be a good thing because, you know, she knows their worth, and, you know, if you can't rise up to the challenge, then you shouldn't be playing the game. So I really like that. Like, he seems like the most grown one so far, not gonna lie. I'm really liking his vibe. He's a model. He's from India, I believe, originally, and he lives in Germany, speaks 4 languages, understands a 5th, and he's just a really nice person. That's what I'm getting. And I love him with Mika because she's bubbly and nice too. I kind of wonder, like, if they're going to close off too early, because I can tell they both kind of want to talk and mingle with everybody, but they also do like each other. Like, they bring out a good side of each other. Like, they're comfortable with each other's personalities. So yeah, he goes for her, and I love that. I love that coupling. automatically. I love that. And then I don't know if they're next, but it's like Lorenzo and Jasmine. They decide to, link up. And from what I've been seeing of them hanging out, it's like Lorenzo is more of like, give me the instruction manual kind of thing. Like, tell me everything you like and what you don't like and tell me how to do it. And kind of, like, you kind of have to raise him. He doesn't have his own like method of getting to know people. He's kind of more like, what do you like? And I'll try to, give that. And it's just kind of it's not hitting the way he thinks it is. It's not landing the way he wants it to, because Jasmine, she's from Dubai. She's based in London now, and she's a fashion business owner. So she's like a boss bee. And he's a business owner too. He's Italian. And I think that's what the problem is. It's like she knows she's fine wine, and he's trying to treat her like a box of wine, like he can knock her around a bit verbally. Like he is not good with his words. Like, as a business owner, don't you need to know how to like network and really be professional? And I'm like, boy needs to tap into more of that, because the success rate with this, what he's called her a couple times, like he called her the B word, like you don't do that unless you know someone, and then you have to also be like okay with being called a prick or something, you just have to be like on that level, which I don't think he would be. I don't think he'd be too sensitive. But he also decided to call her promiscuous, and that didn't land either. He said later on that he meant to say mysterious, and I'm just like, okay, boy, you need to have Sean take you back to school, pay him to teach you, because y'all, he was just not. Between him and Aiden, I'm not sure who's irking me more. Maybe the new bombshell. I saw a clip of how he was behaving, and I'm like, here we go again. So Samraj is like my favorite at the moment. I think right behind him, I'm liking Sam. And then I'm liking Opie. Like Opie, I feel like him and Angelista are paired up together. They look really cute together, I have to say. But he said his type was blonde. So part of me is like, yeah, you said Angelista was wifey material. I kind of wonder why he said that. I think he was like looking out for her and just like, hey, look, y'all need to notice, like y'all need to realize and recognize what's up. Because she wasn't really given a lot of attention, and she wasn't getting a lot of attention. And I'm just like, don't disappear, like no Thumbelina, like come on. So she needs to just come out of her shell a little bit more, which is what one of them was saying, which is, it's fine. It's like, it's day one, but they need to hurry because things are going to change really quick. Like in 24 hours at the end of this episode, Maya drops the bomb on the bombshells and gives them all the power. I'm just like, you see it go straight to their heads, and it gives them more confidence, which is nice. But at the same time, I'm like, this is crazy. This is a little unfair. Only after 24 hours, somebody's going to get dumped. So like, what? Anyway, so who else is getting paired up now? So Opie and Angelista, they pair up because he said she was wifey material, and she's like, bet you recognize Worth, bet. So she's good to couple with him. I think they were one of the last ones too. But let's see, Lola, she gets with, hold on, let me see, I'm getting confused. Okay, sorry, how to review. So Lola, the detective, she gets chosen by Sean, the teacher. And I thought I was really gonna like Sean, but then at the same time, I mean, I like him, he's fine. It's just the way he handled the situation. You could tell he was overwhelmed, and he was kind of going back and forth a little too long, and it felt like a bit of a pie in Robin's face, because Robin was like making it known that she's into him. She also did that with maybe Aiden. Okay, I need to go back and say. So she's not having like the best of luck, which is like insane to me, because she's like Scouse, and I just love her personality. It's really funky and fun and confident. And even Sean was just like, if you're not weird, then you're not fun. And I'm like, then what the heck are you doing? Like, hello, go over there No, he goes for Lola, which is great. She's a great girl. I just didn't know that they were like super. Anyway, they start talking later and they're fine. They're like, they got a good vibe. They can get along. But it's at the same time, I'm like, they're not really like giggly nervous like the way that Sean and Robin can be when they pull each other for chats, because they end up doing that after the pairing. So yeah, Lola gets with Sean the teacher, and then we have, let's see, Robin gets with Sam the electrician, and you can tell she's making the best of it. She's going to make the best of it, but that wasn't her first choice. And I don't think that was Sam's first choice either. So those are the two that are kind of like, okay, we'll make this work. Like, we'll figure this out. We're still wanting to get to know everybody. It's not like we're closed off, married down, exclusive, like, on day one. It's fine. So they're both like optimistic. So like after everybody pairs off, they go and they chat. And it's funny because I played the Love Island video game, and I was like kind of bossing them around from my seat. And I was just like, okay, now couples split up, go talk, like go get your chit chat in, like go put some graft in, and get to know who you're going to be sharing the bed with, because that's like Oxville for me, thinking about that, because I don't know, I like my own bed, and to be sharing with somebody, I'm just like, I'm sure they get debriefed and they're like, don't do anything that's non-consensual, but it's still just like this energy. I feel like it would make me uncomfortable. I'm like, I'm gonna wear my long sleeves and don't try to set up some healthy boundaries from the beginning. You're not just gonna be getting kisses in bed night one type of thing. That's how I am. But I'm 39. In my 20s, I was different. I was a little more adventurous and risky, and I was like, who's it gonna hurt? What's it gonna hurt? But now I'm looking at it more like longevity. Like, how is that gonna play out long term? That kind of thing. So yeah, all of them, I think I went through it. Ellie and Aiden, Sam and Robin, Lola and Sean, Mika and Samraj, which I'm so excited about, Jasmine and Lorenzo, and then Angelista and Opie. So I think that's a good start, for the pairings. And they get to chatting afterwards, and then you really start to see more of their personality come out. And Opie is really, really sweet. I like his conversation. I just hope that Angelista is taking it slow with her heart, It's day one. Let's all hope so. We all are. But at the same time, I agree with Queen E, who also does Love Island reviews. She was like, I don't think your man's in the first lineup, and I agree. And I don't even think the bombshell is going to do it, because towards the end, you have Yasmin. Those are very close names. Great. But she's blonde. So it's like, okay, Yasmin, I'll try to remember that. She and George come up, and before they even get to enter the villa, Maya is like, okay, hold up, guys. You're on assignment. And they're like, whoa, what? They got nervous. And she tells them, this is the twist, the bombshell twist, that in 24 hours, they both get to dump one boy and one girl. Well, like, I don't know how they're going to do that. Like, the guy chooses the guy to dump, or the girl chooses the girl to dump, or they decide together. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but it's a secret. So nobody knows. So they're going in with some extra confidence. And I love this. I was like, oh, I got goosebumps. I was like, y'all. I think it's too soon for all that, but it's going to be funny. It's going to be crazy. I don't want to see any of these girls go. I'm really not even playing. I like all the girls. So yeah, but Aiden can go. I'm not going to lie. I see how he's playing the field already. And so that's the thing. After they couple up and they go off into these chats, he kind of made it seem like he was this way in his little intro thing. Man, it sounds like I'm really going hard into Aiden. I'm sorry. But he's just red flag central. I don't know. So is Lorenzo. And they look like two peas in a pod the way they were sitting together at the fire pit. But he just looks like he goes off of his hair, like he's like, his hair introduces him, and his hair gets him what he wants, and he's got like this lusty, dusty energy. where it's just like, it's not balanced, you know? It's like, of course you can have and explore the chemistry and that kind of connection, but when you're just going all in on like the other thing, it's like, boy, like, stop it. Like, that's not why we're here. And so yeah, he was hanging out with Ellie and he asks for a kiss after their conversation wasn't even really flowing. It was so weird. I was wondering why. Like, she's trying to get a conversation flow going on with him, and he's just like smoldering at her. He's like looking at her. He's like, "Can I have a kiss?" And she's like, "What?" Like, it came out of nowhere. Like, does he not understand how to read the room, or like how to pace himself, or how to, I don't know. He better calm down. Because like in the little preview clips, he's just going all in with Yasmin, but he's also whispering about it. Like, he's not proud of his behavior, yet he continues. So we'll see how that works out. I really don't want Ellie to get dumped because of that. I don't think she deserves to be dumped. I think she's amazing. But even in like the previews for the next episode, you know, she kind of gives into his little pressure act again. And I'm like, ew, ew. I mean, it's fun in the moment. I get it. Like, it's fun. But I can see what he's doing from a distance. And I'm like, stop it. Lorenzo also sticks his foot in his mouth more than once with Jasmine. And she's just like, okay, red flags, red flags. So I don't think they're going to last either. And then George is also pushy, like with Robin in the previews. So it looks like she shuts him down because he wants to go to the hideaway. And I'm like, girl, get him out of your face. Like, we're not doing that. And she's like, okay, whoa, she's really trying to be nice. And I think if anything, I hope, if anything, girls learn, women learn from this reality show is you can be more direct, honestly. Like, I don't mean treat people like they're animals, but you know how you're direct with your animals, like when you're giving them yes and no's and like boundaries, like, stop it. I think you can be a little bit more like that with these guys because they literally start acting like some hound dogs and you just have to be like, nope, nope, stop it, go away, leave it. So I would have to start channeling that kind of energy. But yeah, it looks like Robin and Sean are hitting it off in their little chit chats on the side afterwards, and I'm loving their energy, truly am. And yeah, I like the idea of Mika and Samraj, even though I think they're still going to talk to other people. I really like them together. And Yasmin, I hope, the new bombshell, I hope she doesn't fall for Aiden's axe, but who knows? He's just like, I don't know. He's like a puppy. He's really excited. I don't think he's as innocent as a puppy. He's very excited like one. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any like lasting thoughts I have on the whole thing. I'm just excited to see like how this all plays out. You know, how are they going to choose to dump any of them? That's going to be really weird and interesting and hard. So, yeah. Okay, that'll be my first take on Love Island UK season 13 episode 1. Thanks for joining me, and make sure to comment and let me know your opinions too. Be respectful of each other, you know, like don't attack people and don't attack these people, especially off looks. I think that's just really shallow. But definitely give the goss and like hot take and what you're feeling, if you agree or if you disagree. I don't have any degrees. I'm just well versed in school of life. Very observant of like body language and patterns. I have pretty good pattern recognition, not always, but quite a bit. So I feel like, yeah, they're still just starting, so kind of weird that they're going to be kicked off. But anyway, okay, I will leave this here, and I can't wait to catch up with you guys after the next episode. Talk to you soon. Bye.